sorry, that's just anti-trans.
Thought we'd start with Blaire White, because I'm talking about some bigger YouTubers lately. Yeah, like, you can only strive for so much symmetry, you know what I mean? It just is what it is. But the thing is, like, honestly, the best advice I can give anyone doing, like, their eyebrows and their eyeliner or whatever, and it keeps not matching, is do your eyebrows and your eyeliner in, like, whatever mirror you're doing, and then go find another mirror where you can see yourself from further away, and then just see what it looks like. You might notice a couple of things that you didn't notice when the mirror was, like, right up here, when it's back there, when you're more kind of looking at the whole of you and not just little bits. It's one of those days. But yeah, we're gonna see what Blaire White is talking about here. We've got, these trans activists won't stop talking about me. Let's respond. So because I've been talking about people like ContraPoints and stuff like that, I have to redress the balance and make sure I evenly on Blaire White also. Otherwise, I'm a bad tran or something. But hey, I don't know. Let's see what's going on before we jump to conclusions. I think that's a better idea, personally.
Conservatives will support the trans conservative more than the liberals would support me.
That's that schizophrenic liberal babble, that psycho babble.
Amala, like the Blaire Whites, all these people that are causing all this intersectional harm that...
But no, what I was trying to say was we've really got the whole lineup of like Jubilee retardation. We got Blossom Brown. We got that. I've seen a bit of this woman. She seems utterly nuts. And then we got Shane.
Like the Blaire Whites, all these people...
Yeah, this person is a fucking idiot. I watched him talking to, was it Ben Shapiro? Like, I'm really not a fan of people like Ben Shapiro, but if you want to make me defend Ben Shapiro, just put a like this in front of him.
People that are causing all this intersectional harm that really...
all this intersectional harm, what does that mean? He's never going to explain, so what's the point?
Experience no consequences.
Also, by the way, people saying that this person passes well. Yeah, sort of shoulders up, yeah. Very much so. This is not a very masculine figure. Like, this is not what you tend to see a male look like. You know what I mean? Again, if his transition is not so much about vanity, then fair enough. I found that a lot of mine was, to be honest. And it made me hit a wall, so hey.
They just make money off it.
I hope all of their children are gay. I hope all of their...
Yeah, here's the thing. What man will just turn a chair around and just sit straight down, knowing that they may well sit on their own fucking nuts? They're not going to do that. It's like he knows. It's like he wants it to be obvious or something. But then he said he was a trans man anyway, you know?
Children
And they don't
gay.
You never learn. There's never been, where's the growth? Where's the healing? Because we need healing. Speaking of very sad, very sick, very deranged, we have something that I want to react to. We have some haters that we're going to react to right now.
No, I'm sorry. This, like, these hands, these, like, thighs, this kind of area, that's not male looking. I've been a male my whole life. Trust me. Trust me on this one thing, if nothing else. This does not look male at all to me.
We have some haters that we're going to react to right now. And you may recognize these beasts because they are beastly in both stature, right? Just the overall size, and in spirit. And
yeah, when people say trans men pass well, normally they haven't taken into account much below the neck. You know what I mean?
I know I said that, you know, when I reacted to these, you know, creatures of the deep, these monsters, about a year ago, that I was not...
I have extremely skinny legs. I'm not saying that, but this is not... I don't know guys that look like this. I'm sorry. Guys just end up a different shape, and these hands on the thighs are arguably not fucking. Blaire is so mean, maybe, but if she's right about something, does it really make that much difference if she's mean?
Not going to give them the light of day anymore, but it's in fact a new day.
And besides, if we're calling her mean, like, these people, like, won't stop going on about her. Like, who's actually being mean in this instance? Like, if I had some weird fucking trans people... God, what is that hair? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, are you trying, like, at all? I don't understand. Like, how can you be like trans for like years and years and years and not know what the fuck you're doing with like your appearance? Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. There's nothing wrong with your hairline looking like shit. There's nothing wrong with being the wrong shape for the sex you say you are. But at the same time, these people are very, very happy to like cast stones at people and very happy to judge the fuck out of other people for not thinking the way they do. So I don't really see an issue with criticizing them. Anyone that does, usually all they want to do is find some reason to ignore the actual greater point, which, you know, well, we'll see what the actual greater point is because she hasn't started really talking yet.
And I've changed my mind. I'm going to respond to them again because they can't stop talking about me. They just can't. It's a sickness. It's an addiction. And baby, I get it. I get it. But Blossom, Shane.
I'm nitpicking. He's a moron but looks male enough. I disagree. You can tell me I'm nitpicking. If I see someone with tiny little hands on fat female thighs, that doesn't look male to me. I'm sorry. There's nothing you can say.
See, for me, there's a lot of power in a name. And for you to pick Blossom, something very soft, right? That soft name. And then to come through with that very hard energy, it's just not. But let's just get into what they're actually talking about. They did a podcast talking about minorities who are Republican and or conservative. And they did a whole thing talking about that. And we're going to see what...
Listen, I could criticize Blaire White's appearance too. She looks like she lives in LA. And she doesn't, so I don't know. Oh, hi, Trippy Liquids. I hope you're good.
they have to say.
Trans, gays, all that. Just talking about they're conservative and this is why they're conservative. I'm like,
Rick Waller. Okay, listen, I'm trying not to get distracted too much today because I do want to actually get through more than like 2 videos and actually make some kind of content. Because yesterday's stream, it was a lot of fun, but literally there was one thing worth posting from it. Because like, I don't know, the loofah thing was hilarious, but like, you have to watch the whole thing. And it's a bit painful when it's like reacception to that extent, you know what I mean? Okay, alright, fair enough. Pop Idol, wow. I never watched Pop Idol. I really liked the shitty X Factor auditions and stuff, even though, yes, those shows are extremely exploitative. They kind of misrepresent how it works and stuff like that, but hey. She lives in Texas now. Yeah, she looks like she still lives in LA. That if I'm going to criticize everyone's appearance here, except the other woman who just looks like a skinny woman, then there we go. There's your balance, I guess.
you guys are conservative, but you're conservative with the idea that you have a voice in that space.
I feel like
I
a
think
lot of the
even
times it's
Pentagram
rooted in
is like-
racism.
Okay, I say that. I might have to skip back over and over because I don't know what the f*** I'm talking about already.
Trans, gays, all that. Just talking about they're conservative and this is why they're conservative.
Okay, so my guess can't fathom why another trans person or another gay person or whatever doesn't think exactly the way she does. But let's see. Yeah, listen, I'm not big on like the plastic surgery thing. I think that we glorify things like plastic surgery a hell of a lot in trans circles where it's not really seen that way anymore around like cis women, where we tend to say that we prefer the natural look. And we try not to glamorize it for that, I guess, but I don't know. That's our own cross to bear, I guess. I don't think I'd have any plastic surgery. I can't say that I wouldn't because, hey, I've never really had the means for that kind of thing. I don't know what I'd do if I did have the means for that kind of thing. So I don't want to say I'll never do it and then end up doing it. But hey.
I'm like, you guys are conservative, but you're conservative with the idea that you have a voice in that space.
Okay, so we're assuming that because Blaire White is a conservative, because Blaire White is a trans conservative, she has no voice in conservative spaces, when actually what I've seen is that she changes minds. And people like this should maybe consider having a bit more gratitude for someone like Blaire White, because Blaire White is going to reach the kinds of people no man that I've ever known likes that plastic surgery look. Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. I mean, we shouldn't necessarily base it on what men think or whatever, but at the same time, like glamorizing like getting surgery to like fix your face and stuff, it's a bit ghoulish, no? That dude is scaring me. Yeah. Blossom versus Tara, that'd be amazing. But yeah, we pretend that trans conservatives can't think how they want and don't get any respect in their own spaces, when actually, I don't know. I know quite a few conservatives as a consequence of having started my own channel and started talking about my own shit. And like, plenty of them are actually perfectly respectful to me. And I'm a liberal. I'm not a fucking conservative myself, you know? Sounds like Captain Holt. Wow.
Face.
I feel like
I
a
think
lot of the
even
times it's
Shapiro
rooted in
does that.
racism, though. When
Oh, Blossom is... I don't know which one Blossom is. I'm sorry, there's two different people. Fucking hell, that's not going to sound good, but whatever. Wait, what's dipshit talking about?
Voice in that space.
Yeah, they're talking... These people don't know anything about conservative spaces because they never go in any of them. So how would they know? How the fuck would you know?
I feel like
I
a
think
lot of the
even
times it's
Shapiro
rooted in
does that.
racism, though, when it comes to that, like
Rooted in racism, okay.
within our community. Like, let's be real. I see a lot of trans people that kind of get into this pocket of like, I'm trans, I can't be racist. It's like, girl.
Well,
All right, so she's a conservative and doesn't get respect. That's rooted in racism, where trans people think they can be racist. Like, what? What are you talking about?
they support the Blaire Whites and the Buck Angels and even the dolls and all the things or
Yep, let's generalize as much as we can.
whatever. But it's so funny because, in my opinion, Blaire White is so in proximity to whiteness that
Her
you know
last name
she
is
doesn't.
literally
In my opinion,
White.
and even the doll as well. Those girls, in my opinion, they try to look so Eurocentric or whatever, but it's
Does Blaire White try to look Eurocentric? Do I try to look Eurocentric? I probably don't have a huge amount of a choice because I'm European. What are they talking about? Intersectionality is a brain disease that makes people stupid. Hey, maybe. I've long thought that intersectionality is very appealing to people that don't really have any empathy and would rather just add people up like equations and decide who they should give a fuck about, rather than trying to get to know people individually and trying to humanize people. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
like, girl, you're people of color, and the thing is, white supremacy is going to dick you and
And the
trash you.
omelets. And the omelets.
And the omelets.
And the clear.
First of all, does she just say white supremacy is gonna dick me?
Okay, Norwegians, European. Is it Norway? I can't remember. Norway, Switzerland. That panel is very painful. Yeah, I'm already dying. Transparency. Nice.
Me?
White supremacy is going to dick.
Blaire has been doing this a long fucking time. Like, how come white supremacy... Oh, this is the Blaire White Project. I'm not going to be able to find it. She's been doing this for a long fucking time. How is it that white supremacy has yet evaded dicking her? You know what I mean? Like, is it going to happen soon? Is it going to happen in like 10 years, in 20 years? Because she's been around a long time. I wouldn't bet on that by now if I were you. It's almost like she has one group of chuckleheads like 5 years ago, whatever, saying that shit. And then another group of chuckleheads just come along to say the same thing. And then it still doesn't happen. And it's like, oh, okay, amazing.
That is the nasty. Did she say that? I don't think she said that, because if she said that, that's like the nastiest sentence I've like ever heard. So we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt on that. I'm not going to rewind it because I don't want to hear it again, because I could barely understand the language y'all are speaking. It's so crazy to be like post-Trump election, like the way y'all are talking, it just feels like 10 years out of date already. That's how much like I feel like people have changed and realize like what works and what doesn't, as far as like what's crazy and what's not after Trump winning. It's like, this just sounds like some ancient schizophrenic like language that even 5 years from now we're gonna have to like have professionals that can even decode. Like what the f- were liberals talking about between 2010 and 2024, because it actually sounds insane. So for the first one,
I maintain one thing. This has got nothing to do with being a liberal. Liberals don't fucking talk like this. This is progressivism. The word you want is progressives right now. Blaire White is not white and has more intersectional point than I do. Yeah, probably, yeah. She's like half Mexican. She's like slightly Asian or something. Like, what am I? I'm like slightly German and slightly Irish and slightly Caribbean. And then I'm very much white British.
Little Miss Red Riding Hood over here, looking like she's riding straight out the hood, looking like Wendy's on crack, right? Miss Wendy.
I probably shouldn't have laughed at that. I'm so sorry. Conservatives don't distinguish between liberals and progressives. In that case, that is my homework to give to you conservatives. Learn the difference, please. I beg you. We're not all fucking like this. This is progressivism. Please, I beg you.
For you to talk about that I don't have a voice within conservatism, let me just, I don't want to be conceited because I'm really not. And if you know my actual spirit, I'm not going to say I'm humble because that's a lie, right? I'm self-aware. I know what I'm good at, what I'm bad at. I know my good traits, my bad traits.
What do words even mean these days? Yeah, exactly. Just say anything and then decide what it means post hoc. You might as well.
I know what I accomplished, what I could accomplish more if I tried harder, but I'm being too lazy. I know what I fail at, all those things. I actually have a huge voice in conservatism, a huge voice among MAGA,
Woke equals progressive, not liberal. Yes, I agree.
huge voice among Republicans in general. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. To pretend
Liberals aren't willing to keep the progressives in line. I think plenty of liberals are willing to keep the progressives in line. I mean, look at half the gender critical movement. They're all fucking liberals for the most part. I think that's exactly what's happening. You know what I mean? I think it's been a problem for a long time, but then a lot of liberals had progressive values, and it's just we've started to realize that there's some problems here. And most of us are just not willing to turn into this because this is utterly ridiculous.
as if I don't have a voice in conservatism or on the right just because I'm trans.
Yep, that's actually transphobic, by the way. Well done, you've done a transphobia. Brilliant.
It seems to be you're the only one saying that. It seems to be you're the only one trying to silence me. Whereas I've had a career in the right-wing space now for almost a decade. We're coming on year 9, baby. That's crazy. 9, wow. And
yeah, but white supremacy will come for you any day now, I'm sure.
I just don't know. Just because you're not listening, just because you're hard of hearing, right? I don't know what to tell you. But as far as Miss Blossom talking about I'm in proximity to whiteness, again, that's that schizophrenic liberal babble.
Okay, so this one's Blossom. I don't know who the redhead person is. Blossom and Shane. Wait, was Shane on the same Jubilee thing? Holy shit, I didn't even realize. I guess he must have been overshadowed by Blossom and Senor Baldwin with makeup and shit. Can't remember his name, I'm so sorry.
Psychobabble that will in fact need some sort of translation very soon, because our ability to even understand what you're saying, it's waning. It's waning. Proximity to whiteness. I am white. I have white in me. Right. I have other things in me. I'm many things besides.
So I have seen the Jubilee episode. I don't really remember Shane on there, because I remember Shane from the Ben Shapiro thing. He just got fatter, fucking hell. I'll have to find it again. Listen, there's so much stuff. There's so much stuff that I'll get around to watching eventually, because ultimately I have all the time in the world. Well, I mean, I say that. I'm 34 years old. I have, 40, 50 years or whatever. But hey, that's a long time. That's a long time.
Besides my race, that's just going to shock you. Many things. Many things. And if somebody were to, I know this is going to shock you too. If somebody were to meet me for the first time and they were
There's demons in Blaire White. What do you mean by that?
like, who are you? Tell me about you. I could probably rant about myself and explain who I am for an hour without mentioning my race. I really could. I really could. And you would get about a nanosecond in before doing that, because you start every sentence with "as a black trans woman." That's the lens you see life through, and that's tragic because that's a very limited scope, right? And you clearly have a very limited scope of politics, scope of how the world works, scope of yourself. You don't have any self-awareness. Because if you did, like I said, that ass whipping you got from me a year ago and that Miss Amala gave you, you would have either left the internet for good or made damn sure you rebranded.
Oh, so was it Blossom? She's had beef with that. What's her name? Amala Akpanobi, I think. She seems okay. I'll have to find that at some point. She's a horrible person. Do you know her personally? How do you arrive at that conclusion, Mama D?
You and
the Amalas. And the Clarence Thomases.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Nick. There's many people that I watch, like Blaire White just being one example, like people like Ty Rivera or Mr. Menno or Destiny, although I guess he's kind of digging his own grave, like more and more and more and more, that tend to be very divisive. But often when people actually listen to these people for any length of time, they're like, oh shit, they're actually right about some stuff. So, hey, I don't know. I'm not expecting everyone to agree with me right out the bat. Blaire White is not my favorite trans creator, but I generally like her stuff, you know, and I don't have a problem with her really.
Oh,
And what's his name? Myron Gaines.
Oh,
they
my
don't
God.
like you.
Amala
You will never be them.
So because Myron Gaines doesn't like trans people, she shouldn't be a trans conservative? Is that what the fuck she's saying? Like, yeah, just say any old retarded bullshit and then clap your hands as you say it, and that'll make it completely valid. That'll mean that you made any kind of point whatsoever. Amazing. Let me just get that again in case I was wrong there.
And the Clarence
He constantly talks down at people. Most people talk down at each other. I don't know why you'd come for Blaire White and no one else for that.
Thomases.
Yo.
What?
The internet for good or made damn sure you rebranded.
You
And the Amalas. And the Clarence Thomas.
Yeah, that Amala person, like, what's so bad about her? You just shout as many names as you can. Oh, all these evil people that I don't like personally, so you shouldn't either. They don't like you. Well, how do you know? Do you know any of these people? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? This is just like judgmental bullshit. But these people, it's okay for them to do it because they're all either trans or not white. I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, Blaire White talks down to people. Like, yeah, maybe. People like ContraPoints talk to people as if they're stupid because they need enough people to be stupid to believe the shit that they say. So, like, what's the difference? In many ways, I feel like at least Blaire is, like, you know, honest in a lot of ways about it. Like, yeah, I'm kind of mean. I'm a bit of a dick sometimes. Like, I actually respect that. Whereas a lot of people just pretend that they're a fucking saint. One in the middle if the character is Amala's evil twin. Oh, right. Oh, she's got to shit on Amala at every opportunity then, because she's probably getting compared to her. I'm not sure what people have against Amala. She says things that people don't like, is what I'm going to guess. If I'm shown other shit, then maybe I change my mind. But I don't know. I watched one or two Amala videos. She seems fine to me. It's just someone expressing her opinion, just like me, and that's fine on the face of it, you know.
Thomases.
Yo.
And what's his name? Myron Gaines.
Oh,
they
my God.
don't like you.
She really thought this was a point. What's the phrase? She really thought she ate. Oh, Myron Gaines. Oh, okay. Wow. I'll stop being a trans conservative because none of them listen to me because Myron Gaines. Fuck off.
You will never be them.
Candace Owens.
Candace, oh, yeah, let's just name as many people as we can. Why not shout out Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder while we're at it? Who else is right wing that we can name so that we can tell Blaire White that conservatives don't like her when none of these people know any conservatives? And if they do, they don't have conversations with them, presumably. And as Blaire said, she's been around for quite a while. You know what I mean? I think maybe the leopards might have eaten her face by now. Albeit, I don't know how much nutrition is in there at this point. Sorry, that's mean. You're not the only one that could be mean. Live with it. But like, Jesus Christ, you'd think that shit would have happened to Blaire White by now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Like, yeah, let's just name as many people as we can. Like Candace Owens. Wow, amazing. Candace Owens is just an excuse for like half of you to like fucking hate on black people because you really want to. You just have to make sure you pick the right ones, apparently. I don't know.
Candace Owens, you will never be.
She's not allowed in Sweden or something, right?
Okay.
She's not allowed in Sweden.
So this is this.
Yeah, sick burn. Sick fucking burn. Steven Crowder's baby twins don't like Blaire White or Steven Crowder. I don't know why anyone likes Steven Crowder. I'm going to be completely honest. I think he's fucking awful. But hey, there's not much point in me covering people like that because what is there to say? He says so much ridiculous shit. You know what I'm saying?
This is what gets me. You're listing off all these people who, good, bad, or indifferent, no matter what anybody thinks about them, you cannot say that they are not popular within their own rights. And
this is a real basic bitch opinion, but I have serious trouble believing that Steven Crowder believes half the shit that he says. Like, I don't know, man. I will listen to conservatives, but someone like him, I just don't know. And like, he managed to get ganked by fucking Sam Cedar. Like, Sam Cedar sucks, you know what I mean? And then when he appears on his show, Steven Crowder and his friend just talk over him the whole time. It's so fucking insecure. Like, you think I'm going to watch someone like Katie Montgomery talking over Kathleen Stock the entire time and think that's bad, but not think that Steven Crowder talking over Sam Cedar the whole time is also bad? Like, no, it's bad either way. It shows immense insecurity.
And influential and have a ton of fans. Like, you can think I'm dumb. Blossom, Shane, whatever the other girl's name is. Y'all can disagree with me. You can hate me. You can think that I am fighting for a side that will never like me. First of all, who the fuck holds a political opinion based on who's going to like them as a result? That
Truth. Well, many people, actually. Many people. Quite possibly plenty of these. There's a reason. Listen, I think it probably burns at both ends, but like, I think a big reason of why trans people end up like far left, and I'm saying far left, not left leaning, why they end up left leaning is probably at least part to do with like trans people are more likely to experience poverty and stuff. But like, oh my God, Amala reviewed this as well. Shit. But yeah, I think part of it is that the far left are the ones like pushing for all the trans stuff. They're the ones that are being nice to us. And part of it are like left-wingers who end up being trans, so they already had those beliefs, you know what I mean? So it kind of burns at both ends. 100 believes what he says. Security clam clips with his wife. I saw them. I don't know if that means I think that he thinks that George Floyd couldn't have died of asphyxiation because someone kneed on his neck, you know what I mean? But I'm not sure. And maybe that's not a good example, so I don't know. I haven't watched Steven Crowder in a long time because every time I do, I just want to watch literally anything else except Steven Crowder. There you go. Steven Crowder is never going to like me, so I don't really give a fuck about shitting on him, quite frankly. He sucks.
That is like some weird, again, limited scope, like childish. I'm going to hold opinions because I want to be part of a community and I want people to like me. That's weird. And you're projecting your own beliefs there. You're not saying shit about anybody else's. To list Candace Owens and be like, no one's ever going to like you. Candace Owens, every other person you just listed, I'll include myself in it as well. How can you be like, naming them and listing them as people who are like followed by a lot of people on the right, influential, and be like, they're never gonna like you. So really, so you think everyone just hate watches Candace Owens? You think all the comments in her comment section, like, thanks for this video, Candace, taught me a lot, love you. You think
Oh, I slightly misunderstood. So they're saying that because people like Candace and Myron are black, conservatives aren't going to like them. That is completely retarded. The only reason you'd think this whatsoever is because you know nothing about the people that you're hating on, which is true. None of these people know anything about like conservatives. These people watch like Ben Shapiro and whatever the fuck else and make massive generalizations, or like go on Twitter and act like a fucking asshole and then get fucking assholes from the other side having a go at them, and then they generalize those people. So I don't know. It's kind of cooked either way. Thought slime. Fucking Mildred. Fucking weirdo. I should watch Thought Slime, but none of his content is great for my channel, so.
that's like people being fake? Again.
I'm like, yeah, telling someone like Candace Owens that her side is never going to like her. Isn't that a bit racist?
That's where we get back into the schizophrenia that y'all clearly have. The love that all these people and myself get from people.
Oh, thank you, Cassie. Ooh, I don't know if it's going to play. Amala. Oh. I wish I could read it. I don't know why it doesn't read them out all the time. Thank you so much for the $5. Thank you.
On the right. For you to think that.
I think these people understand how races work. No, probably not. They seem to have over-intellectualized racism to the point where it just makes no sense. And the thing is, plenty of racists are not especially intelligent people. So I don't know why you'd over-intellectualize the fuck out of like racism, you know what I mean? Oh, thank you, Petunia, in that case. Thank you.
We're fighting for a side that will never like us. You would have to think that everyone who says they like us is fake, which is strange. And everyone likes to, use that talking point, all the low vibe, low IQ people. And what I have to say about that is, who gives a fuck who likes me, first of all?
Yep, true, based. I don't give a fuck if nobody likes me because I'm getting my shit out. I'm able to actually speak truth to power a little bit, which is something I've struggled with my whole life.
I've never been someone who cares about that, which is why I've been consistent in my entire career with.
When people make these kind of criticisms, like, oh, well, none of them are going to like you, it says much more about how they feel and about how much they want people to like them than it does about someone like Blaire's mentality or mine. I don't give a fuck about being liked. If I cared about being liked, I would not be doing this because I'd be selling out to the fucking woke mob. If that's what I wanted was people to like me, that's what I'd be doing because it's so much easier to do that as a trans person. So like, fuck it. You know what I mean? I don't care if everyone that watches hates me. I'm just trying to speak my truth. That's what I fucking care about. But people like this, they can't understand that. They either don't want to, or their whole shit is about who likes them and about being liked and about being part of this. Like, this guy must be fucking thrilled because he's like the white guy that's allowed in the circle. He's literally a pick me right now. You know what I mean? Like, fuck you. I can make that complaint too. I can say that about you too. That's how it goes.
With my opinions. I don't ebb and flow with my opinions.
Sorry, I'm pausing so much. There was a pissed up lawyer tweet today complaining about people hating on like trans men and stuff. And it's like, you're trying to sell out to the fucking intersectional crowd. You're a white man now. You went from female to male. That makes you a white man now. Those people hate white men. Welcome to your own fucking nightmare. This is what you kind of deserve. No offense. I have a friend who's straight up openly transphobic who likes you. Thank you. I get the odd person that is like fully transphobic, but will listen to me at least. I don't make anyone unwelcome like that. Like if they say shit that's gonna cause me a problem, then maybe, but like, I don't know. I'm not trying to curate my own audience, I guess. Like, I'm trying to do my own shit. I'm not like, how am I gonna put this? Like, what I care about ultimately isn't who likes me. I'm not like pushed around by external forces in that way. I'm driven by my own fucking thing. And like, if someone doesn't want to understand that, or someone wants to disagree with me on that, and that's what I'm doing, then they can do that. That's their right, but they're wrong. and they have not spoken to me to come to that opinion. So I don't see why I should give a fuck, quite honestly. People can call me a pick-me to the rest of fucking time in my comments because they don't know anything, and they will know less than nothing while they keep doing that.
Oh, this is an election year, so it's unpopular to support these things. Name anything I've flip-flopped on. And when I say flip-flopped, I mean changed because the wave of consensus is changing, or what's popular has changed. I might have changed my opinions on a few things based on information and new facts, but never because it was popular or less popular. That's not actually a metric I factor into my belief system. Baby girl, baby boy, baby they. It's just not.
Birthday boy.
I believe what I believe because I believe it to be true based on facts. And that's, in my opinion, the only way to do it. Y'all's idea of politics is clearly just fostering a community of people around you, and I just can't relate to that.
As a Black,
Fostering a community of people that all say the same fucking shit, that all mouthed over the same things that are totally holding them down, even though I'm sure at least a few of these people are probably making money off of doing this and are able to sustain themselves that way. And it gets more and more disgusting the higher up the ladder you get, to where you get to idiots like Matt Bernstein and ContraPoints, literally sat in their massive apartments, screaming at people in slightly bigger castles than what they're in. Like, fuck that shit.
trans woman who's more liberal, the conservatives will support the trans conservative more than the liberals will support me. It's like
They
we
do.
didn't support our
When
own
the video,
Y'all need to get a narrative straight. Please get one narrative straight. I know y'all are gay as fuck, but get one thing straight. Will they never like me, or do they support me more than your people support you? Both of these things cannot be true at once. You cannot be ranting about how conservatives will never like me, but then you're like, conservatives support her more than liberals support me. Maybe that comes down to just being a bad person or not. Maybe that just boils down to being smart or not. Maybe that comes down to having morals or being likable or not. Maybe the source of all your problems actually are just that you're not that likable, babe. That might be it. That might be it. Because I actually, back on that self-awareness tip, I'm quite aware that, you know.
Did she just say conservatives are more supportive of trans people than liberals? Which one?
conservatives will support the trans conservative more than the liberals will support me. It's like,
So they're saying conservatives will support trans conservatives like Blaire White more than liberals will support progressive trans people like Blossom, which I don't know. I think hopefully I've demonstrated what the problem is there. It's because she's not a liberal. Arguably, she hates liberals. I don't know about this person specifically, actually. But quite a few of these, like, far, far left trans people, they fucking hate liberals. I mean, far lefters in general, not just trans ones. You know what I mean?
They
we didn't
do.
support our
when the
own
video,
first.
Yeah. Napoleon's right hand. That's what Blaire's going to go on to say.
Like me, or do they support me more than your people support?
Yeah, there you go. So this person's more hated by liberals, I guess, than Blaire White is by conservatives. That's a real indictment on your own character there, bro.
You. Both of these things cannot be true at once. You cannot be ranting about how conservatives will never like me, but then you're like, conservatives support her more than liberals support me. Maybe that comes down to just being a bad person or not.
Yeah, and again, listen, Blaire is also guilty of not understanding or choosing not to understand the difference between progressives and liberals. But truthfully, these types that spout this like intersectional shit and go on and on and on about white supremacy, overwhelmingly, they hate liberals. They hate people that vote for like Democrats and shit like that, which is what you'd say most liberals do, I guess. Like, they hate that kind of shit. Progressive racists like Hassan. Yeah, fuck Hassan, man. These people probably listen to people like Hassan, and they probably steal a bunch of his takes, quite honestly. And he steals them from wherever the fuck, I don't know. Probably gets head injuries and then has thoughts that he thinks are deep.
Maybe that just boils down to being smart or not. Maybe that comes down to having morals or being likable or not. Maybe the source of all your problems actually are just that you're not that likable, babe. That might be it. That might be it. because I actually, back on that self-awareness tip, I'm quite aware that, you know, I'm kind of unlikable, right? Not objectively unlikable, not wholly unlikable. I'm for a refined taste. These are the very high vibrational people, right? These are the very high frequency people. These are the artists, the innovators, the prophets, the, you know, just very ahead of their time ass people that like Blaire White. So shout out to everybody in the comments who, you know, fits that description, the Blaire White army. However, I'm also aware I have many traits that are unlikable, right? You might dislike that I get quite loud. You might dislike that I have a certain opinion, but you can see what happens when you are like objectively unlikable, which is someone like y'all.
Owned. Fucking hell. There it is. There it is.
Y'all are hitting on that like
My side hates me. I wonder why that is. If your own side hates you. Maybe there's a you problem, mate.
99.9 percentile unlikable. I'm more like 50-50. Just saying.
Trans men, like the rights of abortion access and the rights of trans access that
I'd be willing to bet this person never talks about like anything to do with feminism and like women's issues, except for abortion. I'm so tired of hearing fake feminists who only ever talk about abortion and then will shout at other actual feminists for not talking about Roe v. Wade, even if it's not even happening in their country. And then they talk about women's plight in like Afghanistan or something, but that's not good enough. It's fucking ridiculous. I'm so tired of these fake fucking feminists, man. Like, I don't even really call myself a feminist. That's the worst thing. I don't even have skin in the game. I'm a fucking man. But it's like these fucking Americans that think that being a feminist is just it's just abortion, you know?
intersectionality there is like someone like me could basically be erased by not even having access to that. And it's this.
What?
Someone like me could basically be erased by not even having access to that. And
How so? How are you erased if you don't have access to abortion? I mean, I was going to say you'd really struggle in plenty of like Middle Eastern, etc. countries, African countries and stuff. Except you probably would anyway, because you're doing this with yourself. And probably these attitudes in those countries are seen as like bougie and ridiculous and complaining about nothing. You know, you get people in countries where they have to like boil all of their water because the only water around is dirty as fuck. But hey, let's complain about Roe v. Wade. Let's complain about abortions. How many trans men have abortions? Can you even have children? Like, when you take testosterone for a certain amount of time, doesn't it like atrophy your genitalia, your gonads or whatever? Doesn't it cause problems like that? So necessarily most of them get hysterectomies, which by the way, if you're a woman and you're having issues like with your ovaries and stuff, you can't really rely on being able to get a hysterectomy necessarily, but someone like this, perfectly okay. And you're not erased. None of that is erasing you. You exist regardless. Like, get that into your fucking head. What is so hard to understand?
there is like someone like me could basically be erased by not even having access to that. And it's this.
And this person nods because he said the buzzwords.
Crazy political spear because now you've.
Yeah, female circumcision in Africa. Yeah, when did they ever talk about that? Nope, it's always abortion. It's always, why don't you talk about Roe v. Wade being repealed? And it's like, I think, actually, that's not the only issue that women have in the world. And that you American people, by complaining about this ad nauseum and nothing else, just sound incredibly privileged, in fact. So tired of hearing, I'm erased or I don't exist. Yeah, that's the thing. These conversations have got nothing to do with whether someone exists or not. Objectively, yes, Shane exists. There's nothing I can say that would make him disappear from existence, even though he looks like he'd probably completely shit himself to death if I so much as called him a she. But, you know.
You've got people that are like debating my life for sport.
Debating my life for sport. How many conversations about trans shit have got anything to do with you, you utter narcissist? I've been talking about this so much, and I'm going to keep talking about it. I don't care how fucking bored people get of it, because people need to understand it. It's an extremely toxic thing to take a conversation that's about a specific concept and then apply it to yourself. So like, you can't really talk about trans shit with a trans person without that trans person saying, oh, well, do you think that about me then? Do you think that I'm, like, let's say I'm doing it. Oh, do you think that I'm a man then? Like, it's toxic, it's manipulative, it's a guilt trip, and I hate it. And I will call it out on site every fucking time until people start getting it.
And making money and grifting off it, like Amala, like the Blaire White.
Shouldn't FTMs get immense dysphoria from getting pregnant? Yeah, they probably should, but none of this fucking makes sense, so hey.
It's all these people that are causing all this intersectional harm that...
What intersectional harm? What are you talking about? Why are you talking in this fucking way? What are you idiots? By the way, this isn't very masculine either. I don't know many men that like... I'm sorry. Any of you fucking people trying to convince me this person looks male, except for like head upwards. Even the shoulders are a bit suspect, let's be honest. He's got a very narrow frame for someone that size, you know what I mean?
really experience no consequences. They just make money off it.
I hope
What does that even mean? What intersectional harm are people making money off of? What are you talking about? Someone said something mean about you? You're still here. You look well fed, quite honestly. You look like you're probably not going to drop dead anytime soon. I can't believe, listening to this shit, man. Man, fuck. It drives me insane. I hate calling people privileged, especially when I'm a white person in England, from my own country, living in my own country. But this is rank fucking privilege. And unself-aware privilege at that. I hate to think, people from less rich countries watching this shit, it must drive them insane. You know what I mean? Countries where abortion has never even been on the table. And if they get assaulted by a man and it makes them pregnant, they've got no choice but to carry it through. It must sound utterly ridiculous listening to this shit. You're choosing to take a treatment that is going to atrophy your gonads, and then you're complaining that you can't get an abortion if that's what you want to get. You know what I mean? It's just nuts.
And they don't are gay. I hope all of their children are
and they don't
gay.
Yeah, Blaire White is small. My shoulders are probably a giveaway, but I call myself a male, so it's well, that's more of a giveaway by itself. So I don't know, because I'm quite broad. I'm quite big boned actually. I'm just skinny. So, for example, my wrists. I don't know if they look very big. I have big hands anyway, but you put my partner's wrists next to mine, it's they're about 2/3 the size. They look tiny. I never realized that I was quite big in a way actually. And I'm 5'10". I think Blaire is substantially shorter. Yeah. The Ben Shapiro guy, it's the same one. He's brain dead as fuck from what I can tell. Robert E. developed ovarian cancer for years after being given testosterone. Doctors didn't understand the risks, then they wouldn't treat him. Shit, that's not good. Someone born in a socialist dictatorship, these people wouldn't survive. Nope, but that's what they want anyway. But hey, we're the leopard food, right? We're the ones being eaten.
You, Mary.
First world problems. Arc.
Fully agree. Thank you so much, Petunia. I really appreciate you.
You hope all of our children are gay. See, it's so crazy because when you understand the mindset of a lib, you understand that everything is about projection. Everything is about secretly just finding unique pathways to voicing their hatred while trying to come across as the opposite. So it's so funny how often I see liberals resort to using gay as an insult or as some sort of punishment. I hope all their children are gay. Bitch, I wouldn't blink twice if my child was gay. And gay or not, my child would be way smarter than you. I don't know what happened to you in the womb, babe. I don't know what went wrong in your development, what went sideways, what went crooked, because some may say they're actually...
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced. I don't know Blaire White, but I'm convinced that if I stood next to her, I would tower over her. I'm not even that tall for a male person. I'm about average maybe, but you can see how big Blaire is compared to Ariel. Isn't Ariel tiny, to be fair? I'm sure Ariel Scarcella is not much. I don't mean that in a rude way. She's small, right? I'm sure I've seen her next to people and it's wow.
actually are way worse things to be born as than gay. Retarded being one of them. That's just my personal assessment. So again, maybe that's that projection coming out. Y'all are mad about how y'all were born, but I don't think anybody on that list is really going to be that upset if they have a gay son. I know y'all love arguing with like the caricatures of what conservatives were in like the 80s and the 70s.
Which I can't say that you're not entirely doing the same thing about liberals, but hey, listen, I'll let it go. I'll take some strays. It's fine. I'm very used to it.
Back when also Democrats didn't like gay people, by the way, but like ain't nobody really tripping off a gay son anymore. Sorry. And
she's 5'6". Okay, I wouldn't tower over her, but I'm decently taller. I'm like 5'10", so.
For Shane to be like listing off people that don't have any skin in the game talking about trans issues and just make money off of it. Big.
Yes. Listen, fucking, what's his name? Javan Bradley, Alec Gunter, Xander Howe, Vorsh, all the rest of you fucking losers. Like, there are so many people that are onto your fucking game. Just give it up.
How trans activists talk about me, I'm like trans when it's convenient for them, and I'm not trans when it's like convenient for them. So they will in a heartbeat put me on a list of people who are not trans who profit off talking about trans issues as if I'm not trans, as if I don't actually have skin in the game by talking about these things. It's just ignorant, and I would have hoped y'all came better. I really would have hoped, again, after it's been over a year.
What I want Blaire White to do is go in disguise and try and debate people like fucking Alec Gunter. I think that'd be fucking hilarious. Like, those ally types, they need bullying out of these spaces. They need bullying out of not talking about trans anymore because they just should not be doing it. And if that's me advocating for bullying, yeah, that's what those people do too anyway, so who gives a fuck? Okay, Raven, you're talking shit. I don't know what you're on about. We treat her like that because that's how she treats herself. That doesn't make any of what you're saying correct. That doesn't mean you should treat someone a certain way because you've decided they treat themselves a certain way. You don't even know this person. How are you going to say that she treats herself a certain way? I mean, you seem to treat people like shit because they disagree with you, so I don't know what you're trying to say at all.
Since you got your asses beat on Jubilee. But then again, I just saw Shane got his ass beat again by Ben Shapiro. So you never learn. There's never been, where's the growth? Where's the healing? Because we need healing.
Listen, there won't be any growth because these people are too busy mouthing about the world that they don't even understand. So yeah, I don't know. There we go, Blaire White. My whole chat can chill the fuck out now because I'll watch someone else. Jesus Christ. Make sure you like the stream, by the way. If you like the stream, you can support me on Streamlabs in my Discord links. I don't fucking know. Let me try that once more. I don't know. Maybe I should do that. Have you liked the stream? You can check the links in my description. You can join my Discord. You can support the stream on Streamlabs. You can listen to some music that I've made. You can buy music on Bandcamp also. I love all of you. All right, the next thing I have... We might as well do this now. I'm feeling brave. I don't think the person is here anyway. Balding. I don't fucking know, man. It's only my first language. Don't worry about it. I say balding. I don't know. I don't fucking know, do I? Holy shit. I'm somewhere from up north, apparently, and I live in the south, so I say loads of shit funny, apparently. I say glass. Apparently it's supposed to be gloss. She let herself be called a man by a white woman. It's very embarrassing. A, she is a man, so what's wrong with someone calling her a man? B, why does the white woman make any difference? You're talking about that Lauren Witzke? Are you going to start comparing every white person or every conservative to Lauren Witzke? That person seems extremely far out. It's okay. Listen, if you can't come up with any decent reply to that, I'll just block you for the day because you're already annoying me. Like, if you can't even have enough self-respect to stand up for yourself, you didn't know what that fucking situation was. You're so ignorant, and yet you press your opinions down on other people. You don't understand a fucking thing that's going on there. Why should I respect you, quite frankly? Anyway.